Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Da-da-da.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We're live.
We're live.
It's been forever.
So long.
But we are live.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live. We're like number 5, Ange.
It's 3 p.m. You guys, we're here.
3 p.m.
Hello.
Is that better? Might be better.
What up? Tom Hoffelder's here.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah.
He's here. He wouldn't miss it.
Jason Alona.
With your special guest star, Jason Alona.
And Kevin Sylvester.
Featuring Gage Menard and Susan Photopolopoulos. We're here, and Jill Suzanne Shipman is here. Yeah, we're all here.
The music's really...
And Grimnel Gargoyle is here. And don't forget Kellyanne Lewis, she's here. And we're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. And you know what I brought? I can't get quite...
Your Thanksgiving belly?
My belly's here, Ange. It's here. I cut it accidentally, don't ask how, and just apple pie filling came out of it. And it was... if I re-ate the apple pie filling that was already in my stomach, is that disgusting?
What?
Is that bad? It's bad.
Gross.
All right. I'm sorry. See, you guys, you missed me, didn't you? You missed that. You tuned in, you went, oh, that's why we stopped listening. Here we are. We're in November, Ange.
We're not.
It's November.
Wait, when was the last time?
I can't even. I don't know. What's today? 28th? November 28th. We're still in November. It's episode, I'm not quite sure. And, today it's thanks. It's thanks and drawing. Thanks.
Thank-a-doodle.
Oh, see that? There it is.
Thank-a-doodle.
Thank-a-doodle-do. Thank-a-doodle. I'm even using it says terracotta. I'm going to say pumpkin spice. I'm going to say that's a pumpkin spice color. Anyway.
It's very pumpkinish.
It's pumpkin-y. Anyway, I am so glad to be back to see, well, not really see you guys, but see your names and draw for you and catch up with you all. Ange and I are super stoked. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving.
When was the last time? Do we know? Do we remember?
I don't know.
It's so weird. It's been this COVID time warp.
Yeah, it has been a COVID. I'm going to try to draw a turkey drawing. I'm going to start off with that. I don't know if it's going to come out good, but I'm going to do like it's like a Thanksgiving-y kind of thing happening to kind of start us off, Ange.
Brendan Power said quarantine time warp, and I agree with that.
Such a quarantine time warp. This is a pumpkin spice Thanksgiving turkey drawing. You know, if you think about it, turkeys are really weird. They're like kind of beautiful. It's almost like, I know they're weirdly like overgrown for our eating pleasure, because I mean, we get lots of wild turkeys in our backyard, right?
Yes.
But, when you see the ones that are on a turkey farm that are, that are raised for consumption, for our, oh wow, you're gonna play some Hobbit.
Yeah, I mean, you're really just telling the tale.
I'm telling the tale of turkeys. But if you think about it, they're so beautiful. It's almost like, I mean, if we ate peacocks, like it wouldn't, I don't know, I thought about that the other day, because I'm looking at the turkey and it's got this amazing plumage and it's very, kind of grouse-like with these big ruffly ruffles.
Their feathers are beautiful.
They really are.
Opalescent.
Yeah, iridescent, opalescent, all the essence. They have all the essence, like a Skeksis.
All the essence?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the little turkey essence, which is
which is so
gravy.
good. Oh, my gosh.
I just had some for lunch.
You did. Here you go. So there's a little Thanksgiving warm-up sketch, little turkey. Anyway, I was just thinking about, like, why aren't we eating peacocks? And that's where my brain's at. I don't know about you guys. Well, that's where we are now. That's how the year's going to go out.
The dark times.
The dark times. This is a turkey painting.
Well, we have to go out and forage for peacocks.
There's one. Shh. Get ready. Get your forks. It looks delicious. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. I know it's been a little while. Angie and I have. I can't lie because I'm lousy at it, but we have been wanting to come and draw for you and hang out with you, and I've just sometimes the tank wasn't quite full, or we just get busy and we get sidetracked, and so I want to give a shout out to Emily Juster. I feel like Emily Juster and her daughter Tori have been very insistent, gently nudging.
Oh, that we get
Get going.
Like, wait, what are they insisting?
Get back to work, Tony, is what they want. They're like, get drawing. No,
they came and dropped us
they're
off
lovely.
Flowers and apple cider donuts and apple cider last week. Well, it was actually earlier this week. Had to start the week off right. Before you get into Thanksgiving, you need some cider donuts.
That's right. So
thank you, Emily and Tori.
Thank you.
But yes, when we've seen them socially distanced with masks on, they have
That's right.
us that we need to get back.
Literally hanging out in our driveway. In fact, one time they came by and it was like raining out. I felt so bad. We're trying to obey all the things we're supposed to obey, which, I hope everyone's safe and doing well in their neck of the woods. Amherst right now had a surge a while ago, but we've since got it down. Everybody's kind of
college students.
Everybody's just kind of laying low.
They got it together.
Anyway, we're here. We may end up having to do more of this. Maybe as we go into the fall. I feel like the summertime, everybody had lots of things to do. But now...
Soph's been in person in school.
Yeah.
And getting tested every week. And I've been getting tested every week because I transport the horseback riding team.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as predicted, with the numbers going up a bit, we are going to be home. So we're going to be home. Not having to do pick up and drop off in the...
That's true. And I think as the year wides, there'll be insanity. I don't know. You guys let us know if you guys are home a lot or not, or with work. That's the other thing. I feel like, unlike the spring where everybody was kind of just they were either stuck at home and furloughed or whatever your situation was with work, or you were, just trying to figure it out. But I feel like now we're kind of working in this new and living in this new paradigm. So I don't know if us going live every day again is going to be a thing, or if we should try to do it. This is a turkey. He's going to eat that's peacock. That's a peacock drumstick.
Some folks like Kevin Sylvester's in total lockdown.
Yeah.
Jubal Gordon is back in lockdown.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are going to be heading back that way.
So total lockdown. So I think so too. And so you know what? We're going to be here for you guys, and we will come back full. We'll get through the holidays together, and we'll make it fun. And Ange and I will entertain you as best we can with this. I love the ominous.
I know I'm turning on.
Eye of Soren for.
What did you have on here earlier?
I just had that was my fantasy /D&D playlist, Ange.
Oh, what's it called?
Fantasy. You've got it. It's playing. Just go to the next song.
No, I switched it. I didn't know you had that prompted.
Okay, so that's a this is a turkey. He's not eating turkey because that would be weird. He's eating peacock. I'm just running this joke into the ground. Yummy. And then just write peacock here. That's my whole theory, that we could have been eating. In an alternate universe, there's no COVID and we're eating peacock for Thanksgiving. Well, actually, wasn't our national bird supposed to be a turkey? So there's the alternate universe. The alternate universe was the United States national bird was a turkey, and we're eating bald eagle on Thanksgiving, Ange. That's, again, where my... that's where my brain is. Sorry. It's warped and twisted and all the...
I'm looking up a playlist, so I wasn't even... I'm trying to find your playlist.
Well, listen, there are many Elton John hit
want
lists.
Elton?
No, you can pick whatever. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to catch up on.
I feel like I should be playing Reunited and it feels so good.
You might have to play that. I think they would like that. Okay. I think it would be fun. Okay. As we were putting together the show for today, something came to mind that I wanted especially for the longtime fans who have been joining us off and on throughout the year, especially in the spring. Dude, this came out. I mean, it came out, and I hope that you guys get to feel a little bit of the feelings that I feel, because we were all kind of together on this. Like, here's I pulled up your very first original sketches. This is from April 16th, day after taxes were due. Look, I mean, I drew what I thought it was going to look like, and it pretty much looks like that. And then
did this, the whole process.
we did the whole thing with you guys and gals and brilliant. I don't want to pander, but I mean, everyone had such great ideas. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the light here, which I'm not going to do. So maybe if I switch, there it is. That's better. That's much better. Anyway,
Oh, you got the gold in there. You got a glimpse of.
you know, I mean, it's just so cool. I remember so vividly. So when people are like, "What does it feel like?" It's kind of this. It's this weird flicker of, like, you know, looking at the Muppet movie poster and all these ideas, and then someone says Drew Struzan, even though I said no, not Drew Struzan. I feel like that's too obvious. Someone said that. Was that you? Was it you, or did you echo the Drew Struzan?
Really good idea, so I'm going to take credit for it.
Yes, of course you are. Then I see things. I mean, look at this. Here's the sketch, and then the tonal study, and then the color study before we went. So, and the printer was printing a little cool, but this is very close to the
spine. Spine looks so good.
Yeah. So Lizzie Bromley, awesome, who was our designer, did just a beautiful job. I might add too, if you're a fan of the Kenny books and don't have these. This version of Kenny is they've what we call not down spec, but they've made it more affordable. So the cover, the dust jacket on the existing Kenny and the Dragon in the bookstore, the cover's a little different. It doesn't have all the fancy effects on it, but for this they went back and put all the effects in the cover, so they match.
Emily C. Martin said a lot of us said Drew Struzan. You're right, Emily.
Yeah, Emily, you did. So good. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys so that you get a little bit, like, we all did that together, and it means when I look at that in a store or on my shelf, I'm thinking of this time. I'm thinking of all of us hanging out, and that's
so good.
So anyway, so there's that. I wanted to just share all that with you all, and I'll put in the comments if you missed that episode or episodes. That was a fun group of episodes. We had a good time on that one. The other thing we wanted to talk about today was a surprise we got in the mail like 2 days ago.
That was pretty sweet.
2 days ago. So what's happened since I've seen you that has been announced, but I can't, is that I have been hired to contribute to Magic the Gathering again. I did this in the summer. I could not share anything, in fact, about this. This is about all I can share, but there's a Magic the Gathering deck that's coming out next year. That's Dungeons and Dragons themed. That part is known.
Okay.
And I am part of that deck. They were able to...
They're doing all like themed decks. They announced the other day they're doing a Bob Ross themed deck.
Bob Ross for the lands. So,
yeah.
Anyway, and to our surprise, we get a package from Wizards of the Coast, publishers and makers of Magic Gathering. And I thought it was the new image I painted for them, but it wasn't. It was this, which I had no idea what it was. I don't recall this. Now, they reprint my cards from time to time.
Hold it up close so you can see
usually without my knowledge.
It's got like a prismatic kind of...
Yeah, it's on a foil. Yeah,
foil, that's it.
Now, they've been making foil cards for years, Ange. But they usually don't send them to us. We get what they call artist proofs or whitebacks. So it doesn't have the Magic logo on the back. And they print usually about 50 of these, and that's what we get. And that's our...
They're like highly coveted, right?
They are. They used to not be, but times have changed, and now they are much more coveted because I think collectors realized, wow, there's only 50 of these, period.
Here's the thing that we have found out, because you had boxes of proofs and these artist proofs that were sent to you.
Yeah, let's give you an
So we would go to conventions like Gen Con or, wherever we would travel, and Tony would show up with a big old box.
So if you're a Magic or a card player...
How many Magic cards have you done?
I mean, here's loads of proofs.
We have just letter M.
Yeah, we have 4 more additional boxes like this full of proofs. These are the old ones I've had for forever. Finally, I think it was Ashley, who was one of my studio assistants went in and actually organized them all for us. So I was pretty excited about that. We've sold them off over the years. Some collectors come in and will buy one or two. Some will buy 9 zillion.
But they're now because they're so limited and each artist only gets 50 of them. All the Magic players, well, many people collect these. So they're super, super highly collectible.
So this will give you guys an example. This was from the last time we did Gen Con, which was in 2015, right, Ange? Yeah. So these are proofs. So again, you get a Magic card to instead of having. So this one's Aerial Caravan, which I painted, oh my gosh, I can't even tell, in 1999. And again, there's nothing on the back.
21 years old.
It's so old. It's older than.
Excuse me.
It's old enough to drive. Is really what I'm saying, Ange.
Old enough to drink.
Oh, and so yes, that's true. That's what I meant. Mm-hmm. So some of these cards we've sold out. Some we have loads of. Like for instance, this card, Verdant Force, has been reproduced many times and in many decks over the years. Lots of Verdant Force.
Joelle saw us at that Gen Con, she said.
Nice.
Awesome.
Anyway, we had loads of them, and now we have a lot less than we used to have. But these are the proofs, and we do get people that ask for them. If you're interested, you can email us, and we'll send you a list. We do have what's available and the prices and so forth. What I get a lot, Ange, we get Magic collectors in general. They're kind of, they're not crazed. They're passionate, as the word I would use. Very passionate, and
as with many collectors,
and myself included.
You know, collectors of Elton John.
Yes, we are quite passionate.
Box sets.
Come on, that was rare and unreleased stuff. I couldn't wait till Christmas for that. I had to have it. Anyway, what I get asked often a lot is, will you sign it in a certain color, blah, blah, blah. But what some artists do, and I have refused to do because I just don't have the time, is a lot of collectors will be like, oh, I really love it. Can you do a drawing on the back? Now, if I'm at a public signing and there's a line, generally, Angela, you know this, I'll sign like 10 Magic cards, and then I'm like, that's all I can do. I can't sign
because people will
500 cards.
Or they'll have like a stack from their Magic group of collectors, and they would show up at an event like the Rockwell Museum or Gen Con, and they've got like 150 cards
or more.
So
a lot of people don't know this. At Gen Con, I signed every day for 8 hours, and I screwed up the nerves in my hand. I have to get physical therapy from time to time to stretch out the nerves and the muscles. It's not carpal tunnel. It's a different thing. I'm okay. I just have to stay on top of it. But it does mean I can't do it really extended and insane amounts of signing like I used to do.
Like ice your hand.
Yes, the joke would always be, you're going to put your hand in ice afterward. Yeah, now I have to. So anyway, what we thought would be kind of fun is to...
Don't worry, he's gotten massage therapy. He's feeling good. It only really gets triggered when you go to events, when you're signing for, 10 hours.
Yeah, and then I get scared.
Now you do stretches.
So anyway, a lot of people have asked, will you draw on the backs of these cards? I won't do commissions because it's too much, but I've had some downtime, and I consulted with my good friend Scott Fisher, and I have been slowly doing a whole collection of embellished Magic the Gathering proofs. And what I thought would be fun today was show you guys how I'm doing them, and then actually let you guys pick some of the proofs that I do. Now, let me show you some of the ones I've done. I got to hold it slowly and carefully. So these are some of my favorite. Now, this genie, I have to draw the dots in his eyes. We'll get to that. There's Ange as the Frozen Shade. There's Coercion. If you're a fan of Magic, and you may recognize these. There's the Horned Turtle. There's Gus and a Cyclops. There's an Elven Archer. There's the Verdant Force. Urborg Mindsucker, the very first card I painted. Some kind of goblin. Anyway, I've been kind of going through and just enjoying these. We've actually been watching TV and stuff, and I've kind of just had these kind of going while I've been working on them. And yes, we're going to make them all available for sale. So what I wanted to do was actually show you how I'm doing, because these cards, they have a slick surface. So, and you don't want to buckle the card. You want a collector to have a nice flat card. So watercolor for me was out of the picture. I also worried that if I used my usual acrylic gouache that you guys have seen me use for many of my paintings, I was also worried, I wasn't sure how well the acrylic gouache would either buckle the card or actually chip off the card, Ange, because there is, if you see that sheen, see that? That's definitely a protective coat.
Coated.
It's coated. Now that sheen probably is out of order. In other words, they would have printed the 4 colors, the back of the card that says Magic the Gathering, and then this sheen would have gone on as a protective coat over it. But because they're not, I'm guessing they just put the sheen on it anyway to protect it. Otherwise, it would feel like the back of a business card, which it doesn't. It's very, very smooth. And that's problematic.
Oh, Karen Hill said Copic.
When you want it, Karen Hill's ahead of the program. So I'm going back to a very, very old medium that I have not used in a long time, right, Ange?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alcohol-based markers. Now, these are some of my oldies. I've had these for, they're older than Sophia.
You had those when I met you.
I don't know if these are the originals that I had. Let me see if they have a year on them. They don't.
Well,
I had let me see. They're made by Barrel, so they're definitely old.
I remember you were using those when I met. I don't know if it's those actual ones. But.
I used these for the Monster Manual, for the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual, to give you guys an idea how long I used them and how I used them early on. And so you can see I have a limited palette. I think I've been throwing them away as they've been dying. So these are the hanger-oners. So I went to Michael's the other night to see what I could find, which, you know what? Full disclosure, I thought about just ordering them and have them delivered, and she goes, go support a business. Even if it's a chain, go out into a local business. So I bought these. Oops.
I mean, because does Amazon really need more of our dollars?
I know. I just was afraid to leave the house. So I bought these. These are not Copics. These are Artist Loft. Let me tell you why I bought these instead of Copics. They essentially seem like they're the same thing. And I've seen some amazing things with Copics, right, Andrew? I mean, we've seen some terrific art with the Copics. But here's the thing. A pack of 6 Copics. So these are the packs that I bought. This is a pack. This is a pack.
Said second edition Monster Manual Illos aren't watercolor?
No, they're marker, Dave. They're marker. I can pull one here in a minute, and I'll show one. I think there might be 1 or 2 kicking around. I can show you what I mean. So why didn't I pick these? So 6 of these cost about $20-something, and then if you're Michael's, if you have a Michael's Crafts near you, if you download the app, you get there's those online coupons on the app, which is great. This same amount for Copics, Ange, was basically $48, probably $50 with tax, and I just felt like, I guess I could afford that much, but why? I felt like, let me just try these. Let me try the generics before I need the name brand. I got to tell you, so far so good. I haven't had a problem with these. So I'm not saying Copics aren't worth the money. I'm just saying that if you're on a budget, or you just want to try them out, you don't want to invest a ton of money like me, this is a great start. And this worked great for me. So what I did is I bought a few palettes, and then I took some. I got a lot of this one. No one cares about this magic card. So I needed to see what the colors were going to do. So this is the Earth palette. That's these guys right here. So I just put quick swatches so I know what's what. I knew I was going to do a lot of skin tones. Thought this was pretty good. Had a nice range of skin tones. So that helped. I always need grays because I generally will do a bunch of tone and shadow. So that helped on that. And this just had some nice secondaries and a nice alternate primary that I thought was cool. They had primary sets, and your
what are
standard.
The ones we got for Sove called?
Now, okay, so right, so the others. Let me grab them really quick. This is what I started with, and you said, "Don't do it."
No, not the pips.
Oh.
You started with pips.
Oh, the Poscas.
Yeah, Poscas. We got those for Sove. Some people use Posca pens too.
Yeah,
right?
Those are great. They're like paint pens. We use these. We draw with these all the time. I love these. Soph and I will sit and draw with these things for hours. One of my fondest memories was Tom Engelberger of Origami Yoda fame and Cece Bella's wife and his 2 boys. They came to visit. We sat around the kitchen table and just drew with these things and had such a blast. And I'm kind of trying to conjure.
They're called pips. These little ones.
They're pipsqueaks.
The bigger ones, they're pipsqueaks. Yeah.
Now these are water-based. The only reason why I didn't use these on these cards because it was really extra smeary.
Well, the reason why is also like people who collect magic cards, spend a lot of money on magic cards that have artist editions on the back, right? Artist sketches. So I was like, dude, you can't do it in those. Like, if they spill any little thing, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah, I'm guessing though these things they're gonna put them in a little sleeve or something, but you know, we'll see. So so I just randomly went and grabbed one. This is one I haven't done, and that's how I'm doing it. I'm just grabbing ones that I think would be fun to draw. So this is a Cavu Scout. I did not design this monster. This was definitely near the end of my run with Magic. They were certainly doing a lot more style guides. So everything was designed for you. These elves were already designed. This guy was already designed. What the landscape looks like, already designed. Not as fun, as exciting as it used to be, but I was happy to have the work. So let me try to do a Cavu Scout on the back of this card, and you guys can kind of see how I've been doing it, because it's definitely different to how I normally work, right, Angie? Like, it took me a few cards.
Oh yeah, Poscas are opaque. I know I mentioned.
Yes, they're like.
It's almost like chalk paint. It's so interesting.
No,
like,
they remind me of these. Like, this is my whiteout pen. It's almost like this, where it's just thick.
But it's opaque.
Colored ink coming out. You're right,
yeah.
Ange.
But it's also flat. They're not glossy. You know, it's got kind of a matte finish.
Does it? I thought soaps had a little bit of gloss, liquidy gloss.
It's matte. It's almost like matte nail polish.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that.
Go get some of you.
No. Okay, so I made a mistake. I don't have any of the mistakes here. I think I chucked them. But there were mistakes trying to figure out how to do this. The first thing I did was I'm like, I'm going to ink it in permanent ink, and then I'm going to color it. Well, that didn't work because the clear, this coating on the back, it just smeared. Even I tried all kinds of Sharpies, everything. The alcohol in these pens reinvigorated the ink, and it just would smear. Sometimes it was a cool effect, but you don't want to smear black ink on her face. You know what I mean? So I realized, so here I'm kind of coloring around, and it was a little trickier. So I realized I'm going to have to color first and then ink after. So, and I could do it with pencil, but instead I'm going to do it kind of going like light to dark. Let me see. I'm going to get a little piece of tape, I think, to hold this guy.
Jason Malona said, don't toss it. That's what junk pot's for.
Oh, that's true. We can dig them out. We can dig them out.
Yeah, but Poscas aren't really stinky, Emily. I agree.
All right, I'm going to grab another one so I know what the heck I'm drawing, because it has been so long for me that there's no way I could draw it. So I'm using a putty. So it's a very kind of a pinky neutral color to draw my thing. So what I like about this is there's really no way to mess it up. You know what I mean? Because you're just sketching and you're going to build up over it. Let's see if I can kind of... So you can see I'm kind of copying what I've already done. And let me know if I'm out of frame, because I'm focusing on the...
No.
Good?
Good.
Okay, good. So it's kind of, the creature's kind of standing here. He's got a huge mouth, a lot of teeth, big tongue. And then we've got water. Maybe we'll try to get these. I like these bars of color. There's some mountains.
You're kind of sketching in the way that you would normally use a pencil.
Right, but we're going to use its properties to work for us. In other words, I know this ink's going to move around when I start putting ink on top of it, but that's okay. I think that's going to make it cool. So I went for this. I tried a bunch of different versions. I like the putty. It's a little pinky, I know, but yeah, it's working. Okay, so there's my little Cavu. All right, so now there's a couple ways you can do it with markers. I can go back to front. Let's try that. So I'm going to do the sky and the mountains. I have been, just like when I paint and I put a cream or an off-white base, I'm doing the same thing here. So I'm using sand. I'm going to put a little sand. I've been using the brush tip more than the wedge tip on these. And I'm going to just do a little sand. And that's going to do a couple things. It's going to add that kind of antiquing that I love on everything. But it's also going to provide a little base so that when when we blend on top of it, you're going to get some nice effects. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to put the blue in. I'm going to move fast. Ugh. Okay. So now look, it's blending. See, it has it because the stuff is, the coating is so thick on that card. It's letting me, as I'm putting down blue, I'm also picking up the cream that I laid down. Let me just do some mountains. And
Eric Burger.
Oh my God, Eric Burger.
Welcome, we missed you.
Burger, come home. I'm going to put a little blue. There is a little color, a little bit of color theory, not crazy amounts. I'm going to try to cut this guy out a little bit where we're going to put all the... The thing is, you are doing... Jim Gurney always talks about this. It's like kind of like watercolor. I'm trying to minimize any amount of white out or white that I'd be using. So you're really thinking about the white of the card coming through. So notice I left some spots for his teeth, but knowing again that these are just little embellishments, little sketches. I kind of looked at what other artists had done. My friend Scott Fisher does these fairly regularly for fans, does an amazing job. And I just wanted to give it a crack. And also I've had fans asking literally for years for these. And so I thought, let me try. This green's reading a little bright for me. So I'm going to go in with a little gray. And I'm going to kind of work on top of it just to kind of... There we go. See, I like that. I like when it's getting real liquidy and drippy like that. That's my jam right there, Ange. So now the tip of this marker also has a mixture of blue and other colors on it. So I'm just going to smear that up into here. I'm like Bob Ross, Ange.
Well, any tips for anatomy for monsters and shading?
Oh, tips on anatomy for monsters. Just you need to study the anatomy of actual animals, living animals. And that's going to help you a lot. If you know how to draw a bird and you understand the anatomy of a bird, you're going to be able to draw, a phoenix or a cockatrice. If you understand the anatomy of crocodiles and lizards and you add that to your repertoire, you're going to be able to draw dragons. You take that combination of your bird knowledge and your reptile knowledge, and you're going to be able to draw dragons. So here we just...
Derek Smith said he orders Copics from Japan at the yen price, and even with shipping, they're less than going to a store, and you save 50%.
Wow.
Sweet.
That's great to know. But I'm having a good time with these. Also, I'm not a purist, so right now I'm using these pens because they're super. I love this brush tip, but I'll definitely bounce around and use some of the other pens as well.
Watercolor.
It looks like watercolor, but it's alcohol, so when it dries, it should be pretty good. Now, I'm going to use this Logic here, and I'm going to do the darks. I'm going to ink him. I'm going to use like a dark brown, I think. I'm going with this as a mocha. I'm going to give him a little mocha. I'm going to do this. I love drawing with a brush because it's really about gesture. It's not about so much accuracy. It's just kind of, does it feel kind of like the critter? Any questions, Ange, while I'm chugging along here? Or
yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I will share them.
Keep going.
Let's see.
Oh, weird design. I've already...
What is that? It's kind of like reptilian monster. What's it called?
It's called a cavu. It's kind of like a weird goblin dragon thing. I did not design it.
Reptilian, but like gorilla arms or something.
Yeah, it's weird. I did not design it. I was merely just hired to paint it in this magic card. So I'm making it a little more just a reptilian kind of avatar, right? I mean, it's just a little doodle, so it's not going to be, it'll be more representative of the critter than an actual...
Redbox is too fascinated to ask questions.
It's okay. Just enjoy the ride. That's what we're here for today.
Let's see. says, how much do you worry about the archival quality of the medium you're using?
I don't. I mean, I think if this thing is hanging on a wall, it's going to fade. I can't imagine these are light fast colors. But if it's sitting in someone's binder in their collection, I'm guessing it's going to last a long time in the dark. You know what I mean? And being taken out and admired occasionally. I think it'll survive just fine.
Well, and we collect original artwork, and we have some pieces that are in hallways where they don't get any sun.
Yes.
And we have some pieces that are, oils that can handle full sun, and it's totally fine. So I think it's just thinking about, it's not an oil painting. That's the reality.
Yeah. All right, this thing's kind of yellowy. I'm going to go with that's a peach. I don't think I want a peach. Ooh, this is good. This is kind of a cocoa color. But it's yellowy, so let's give it a try and let's see if it works. So now when I add this, it should kind of pick up everything. Wow, we're getting a lot of requests, Ange, for people. I guess they want to. I guess this must be a new feature since we
where they can be in the video?
Yes.
Oh, you should do that.
Okay, hold on. Allow
I've
your
never
viewers
done this,
to.
you guys.
There's a ton of people. I'm trying to see.
People can request to be in it.
Yes, I don't quite.
You know how to do it?
I'm gonna try. Here, I'm gonna try. All right, Ange. Hopefully the volume's working.
Hold on, let me check.
See if you can.
And I guess. Okay, let's see. Can you guys hear? Let me know in the messages.
Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me.
Let me know down below.
Working. Thank you, Kevin.
Hello, Marissa. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Kevin's saying it's working. Sorry about that, guys. I think I hit something when I tried to do the joining. We'll look into that. I love the idea of you guys being able to pop in and join. I might have to make Ange an administrator and let Ange handle all that as it comes through.
Do that.
Yeah, we'll look into that for next time.
That'd be fun.
And then you guys can come in and join us.
Welcome back, dudes.
Welcome. And we're back. Drawing a
What is it? Cavu.
A cavu.
Not a kanku. That's the bird thing from Dungeons and Dragons. This is a cavu, not a kanku.
You got it. You totally got it, Ange. All right, so we're back.
A minute for everybody to.
Let everybody get back. Let me get a little more. I missed a little green spot here underneath.
Oh, maybe Kevin. Kevin said maybe when you add a person to a Facebook feed, it allows them into the audio.
That could have been it. Could have been Gage was like, oh my gosh, he was in charge of it and didn't know it. It's okay.
There's somebody that does that. Every day they do a thing like a live where you can show people your pets. I forgot it. John Hodgman does that.
Oh, really?
Every day, and they'll be like, meet your pets, and he'll be like, tell me about your pets, and hell do a.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So I love the idea that we can finally get to hang out and talk. But not while I'm trying to draw at the same time. I think I'm too technically challenged. Okay, so I'm back to drawing the cavu. So someone right before we went off, somebody had asked about how the our projects were going. Our non-book projects.
We were alluding to a lot of secret projects
in the spring.
We were like, we're working on secret things that we can't talk about. Well, we still can't talk a whole lot about them. But what we can say is
that a lot of my books are in development to be made. 3 of my books are in development to be made into television shows, and I can't say which books right now. But I do with all the streaming and television watching that everyone's been doing. It's really helped make these projects look that much more promising. So once we have formal announcements of these things, obviously you guys will be amongst the first to know. But right now,
I think you guys will be super, super excited.
Yeah,
I will say this: there's something for everyone.
Yeah, we're tickled. We're so super excited. But it's also kept me and Angela pretty busy. I mean, Angela's become a writer on one of these, which I love, and we've been having a terrific time. So I hope I hope these shows actually go into production. I hope they get to see the light of day and we get to talk about it more.
We've been collaborating a lot, you and me, T.
We have. You want to tell them about the other thing? But we can't show anything.
Well, we can't show anything on it.
Yeah, but what do you got?
In addition to one of the TV shows that T and I are writing, we're working closely with the writer on one of these shows, and we're several episodes into writing, which is super exciting.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
We're also working on a picture book together.
Yeah, Ange writes a lot of... Ange is fast with the picture book. Unlike me, that takes 2 years to write Broken Ornament. You're incredibly fast. And you had written one. You were... In the spring, she would be sitting at the kitchen table working on it. And we'd be having our coffee, and I'd be drawing and sketching it while she was kind of drawing it. And I was like... I say this on every book, because I really do. You know how much I love your books. I'd be like, oh, I want to illustrate that one.
And I'd be like, no, you can't. No, just joking. Well, because, sometimes I get a picture in my head of what the illustrations should look like.
Right. And it doesn't look like my art.
Sometimes it looks like your art, and sometimes it doesn't. I like that I'm getting picky. I'm like, yes, no, my, Caldecott Honor-winning
this one's not for
illustrator, superstar husband. This isn't for you.
Okay. It's not like I don't have 9 million things going on anyway. But this one, we just did something crazy, and we loved it, and we were really excited to share it. So I think we'll have news on that real soon, and then we can actually talk about that a little more.
So we worked on that book together, and we made a full book dummy for that.
Yeah.
And we're working on the TV show together, the secret TV show.
And I've been writing on another novel that I've been working on for years. So that's coming along.
And you also have the two other shows you've been working on as well.
Yeah, it's been a busy. I'm very thankful. It's been a very busy year, despite all the insanity, and I'm very, very thankful for that. If you're a young aspiring artist,
is it going to be on a streaming service? Someone asked.
Yes. If you're a young aspiring artist, and you're like, wow, because my brain would be like, wow, all the things happen for that guy. Look at all the things he gets. Because that's how my brain always worked. There were a lot of things that didn't happen this year that we thought. You guys might remember, I'm going to zoom out. I don't remember how to do that.
I would also say, I want to interject and say, pretty much all of your books have been optioned for film and television at some point for the past 20 years that you've been making books.
Yeah. We've had a lot of stuff optioned.
Right now, there's like a gold rush with streaming.
We're excited, but we'll see what happens. Because the stuff, Andrew's right. We've had some stuff come so close to going into production, and then it fizzles out. So I don't want to jinx anything. But not everything happened. This, you guys may remember, we painted on this thing for days. This giant thing. And I was very elusive as to what it was going to be. And now I can finally tell you, because it won't be.
Sorry, your cavu.
Yeah, did you grab it?
Your cavu.
Can you get away? This, I'm sure some may guess, this was to have been a floor display, one of those cardboard.
Like humongous, like how big that thing would probably be?
It was going to be huge.
5 feet?
And you would have had books in these cardboard bays like this. And they would have had, Kenny and the Dragon. So that's what this whole thing that I was so cryptic about earlier in the year. And the reason I was cryptic about it was because it wasn't a done deal yet. But the publisher said, go ahead and paint it up, because we feel... At that time, we were like, we think this COVID thing is gonna settle down by the end of the year, and by the fall, people will be able to go back in stores and browse and buy books in this way. And as we now all realize, no, that's not the case. So this thing never,
stupid COVID.
This thing never happened. This ginormous painting of Graham and Dante and Kenny never saw the light of day. But that's what this was going to be. It was a giant cardboard cutout display.
Would have been super cool. I agree, Amelia.
It would have been fun.
We had all kinds of cool stuff planned. You were going to be on book tour for a couple of weeks. That was canceled. So T did get to do a lot of, and is still doing, some virtual school visits, virtual library book visits, bookstore visits. I know a lot of you guys came to some of the virtual events that we did, which was so awesome. We did an event from the Odyssey Bookshop in South Hadley, just down the street from us, and it was so cool to see like all of our Drawn to Fantasy buddies there. That was awesome.
That was really cool. Here's another one that didn't happen that we were super excited about because you guys know I'm a huge gamer, and I'm a huge fan of Game Right. We play a lot of Game Right games here in the DiTerlizzi house, like Sushi Go and Rat-a-Tat-Cat, and certainly Frog Juice was one of them. Frog Juice is an old game from the 90s. They were Sleeping Queens. We love Sleeping Queens. Right before the pandemic, I was contacted by them to repackage Frog Juice and to do new art for it. I worked on some of the cards. We wanted it to have this kind of apothecary vibe to it. This was the tentative new packaging. And sadly, it didn't go through. It never saw the light of day, even though I put obviously a bit of work into it. Here's another card that never happened. I was doing all the designing and sketching for him. And, I spent about a good amount of time. But, this was definitely happening while we were doing Drawn to Fantasy. And it just didn't happen.
But you just got to keep going. You don't throw it away.
Yeah.
You just keep going. And you're like, okay, what's next?
So I just to kind of point out that the life... it just, you just keep going. It doesn't always, rain sunshine. So let's get back to our Cavu. He should be pretty dry. I feel pretty good about where he's at right now. And I'm going to come in with, I can come in with a brown, which I've been using on some of them.
By the way,
or a black.
Can I also interject
to ink
and
'em?
say how awesome it's been to see the Drawn to Fantasy fan page?
Holy cow, you guys, man. There's some really good stuff on there.
And then just that everybody's still keeping it going and
Yeah.
posting art and stuff. That has been awesome.
Let me know if my head gets in the way, Angie. Normally I'm like right on top of this. Hold on, let me get this.
Bennett, how will Penguin Books purchasing Simon & Schuster affect you?
Good question.
For those of you who don't know, Simon & Schuster, it was announced on Wednesday that Simon & Schuster was being purchased by Penguin Random House.
And Simon Schuster is where I've published almost all my books over the last 20 years. We'll wait and see. I don't know. I mean, these kind of things do happen, and all I can be is hopeful that the folks at Penguin and Random House...
The good news is Penguin and Random know how to sell books. And it's not like some just media conglomerate being like, we want a publishing company, let's buy them.
Yeah, you're right about that, Ange. That's good. It's someone who knows the business. That helps a lot.
So at least that they know how to handle sales and marketing and publicity of actual books. Because a lot of times, they could have been bought by Amazon. They could have been bought by...
Rupert Murdoch was up.
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch was going to up in the...
we lived through the CBS years and the Viacom years, and so that Simon Schuster's definitely been bought and sold several times during my time of publishing with them. So we'll just wait and see. It's all a person my age and at this stage of career, as Angie just pointed out, it's kind of about just hanging in there. Just keep going. Just keep chugging along. Keep making books. Keep telling stories. Some things get made. Some things sell well and become bestsellers. Some don't. Some become TV shows or movies. Some don't. And just keep going. And just for me, I think just being thankful I get to still keep doing it for a living. And we all can live off of making books. I'm not complaining.
I have a book that's going to be coming out next year with Philomel, which is an imprint of Penguin Random, an imprint of Penguin. And I have to tell you, they've been amazing to work with. So, the employees seem happy. The editor that I worked with has been fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited for that book.
So I'm super excited for that. So I always kind of take that as a
sign.
And from what I've heard, they treat their employees really, really well. So...
There
I'm
you go.
happy about that. I know a lot of agents are bummed out because now they're not going to have as many publishers to negotiate with.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the big 6, now it's the big 5, and now after this sale, if it does go through, because it is pending
big 4
approval, it would be the big 4. So
wow. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. I'm super, super excited.
I think publishing is just going to change a lot in the coming decade anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I think that we're going to see a lot of change in it.
Let's see. Connor Wong says, would you recommend going to school for illustration?
Yeah. Yeah. I would.
You didn't go for illustration.
No.
You
No,
went
I didn't.
for-
I went for graphic design because I didn't think I'd be able to make it. I didn't think I'd be able to cut it as an illustrator. But I think, you know, you got to learn. You got to learn. You need to learn the craft, and you got to go somewhere to learn the craft, and learn about what's going on. Do I think you need to get a 4-year degree? That's up to you. Has any art director asked for my degree ever in my resume? Never. They've never asked to look at my degree. It's really, I think, more what I got out of it personally versus, you know, I need this degree to get a job. And you know, for my family, I was I'm the oldest of 3. I'm the, you know, my parents did not go to college. My dad went to night school and eventually got a degree in night school, but not the 4-year college, traditional college experience. Because it's, you know, came from working class, blue collar, you know, family. And my mom always wanted to go to art school, and she didn't have that opportunity. So I felt fortunate. And that's why I stayed with it. But I think you do learn a lot. I mean, you almost have to go just because you got to get those 10,000 hours in, to be honest. I feel like the older I've gotten, the more I've realized the more I draw and the more I paint, the more I realize how much I don't know yet. So I feel like, you know, get out there and it's just going to help you.
And if you're not going to art school, but you still want to do illustration, the thing that I always think of when people show us portfolios is life drawing skills.
So much.
And how that is the foundation of so much, even in fantastical worlds, like
Absolutely.
knowing anatomy,
Yeah.
knowing how to draw characters and poses,
Yeah.
shapes of the bodies. I mean, all of
It's
that
the biggest weakness
that's the biggest
I see.
weakness.
Is people just aren't spending. So for you to be in a college situation where you're life drawing and someone's teaching you anatomy and correcting your drawings, that's where you need to be doing. That's me. That's an old 50-year-old guy telling you, based on my experience, what I would do. Some may say there's other ways to get there, and there are, you know, but you know, the self-discipline and the drive is going to be your biggest challenge. That's going to be the thing that's going to be the hardest for you to
The
master.
discipline, right?
Discipline. That's it. That's it.
I mean,
Putting
yeah.
in the time. When you have,
That's the difference between a cook and a chef, right?
you got it, man.
that's
Between a
it.
musician and a rock star,
That's
you're just going and going and going, and you are not like nights, weekends. You're not out partying. You're drawing. You're at home drawing. You know, that's it. You know, getting better and better. Looking at other illustrators. What are they doing that I'm not doing? How are they doing it? How are they accomplishing it? How much do I have to update my social media? Because that's such a huge part of it now. And you know, once the world kind of gets back to where we can all hang out again, what conventions should I be going to? On and on. So yeah, I think it's a good start. I you know, there are self-made people who I've met who never went to art school and pulled it off. Man, they're few and far between. The success stories are few and far between. So I think at least start off doing that. I think this guy's done, Ange. Let's zoom him way out. Just, you know, it looks kind of sloppy and sketchy, but then again, we're talking about a teeny tiny, I don't even know what the dimensions of a magic card are. Let me see, how do I zoom out?
Yeah, what is it? Like 2 inches by
I don't know. I just flip it. There it
3
is.
inches?
There you go. So there's the Cavu Scout, hand-drawn, hand-decorated little Cavu Scout card. So we've done an hour. I'm willing to go one more. What do you think, Ann? Should we do one more?
One more card?
I think we should do...
I mean, we did have that downtime.
Let's do the... Yeah, we did have a little downtime. Let's do the crazy foil card, the super rare
Well,
foil.
why don't you give them an option and they can vote.
I like that. That's great. Let's
You
do
can
that.
have like maybe like 3, like a few cards. I mean, I know people like anything goblin related.
That is true. Let me grab where did I put my brain's cold. I'm looking for my binder with all the cards, all the proofs in it. Did I put it somewhere?
Where did you
Oh,
put
it's right
it?
here. Boing.
There's the binder. Man, these binders, let me tell you. We've been to like Gen Con when people get their magic binders stolen.
Ooh.
Do you remember that? At Gen Con, somebody had a magic binder with like $50,000 worth of cards and somebody swiped it.
Yikes. I don't know if I would.
It wasn't an artist, it was a fan.
Yeah.
Like that, collector that collected their cards and somebody stole it.
Yikes. If that's the case, man, I feel like you should be putting it in
A safe? What are you going to carry a safe around?
briefcase, something with a lock. I don't know. All right, so goblins. Let's see. I'll let you guys pick between. What goblins have I done? Okay, we've done.
This says yes, goblins.
Okay, good. So Goblin Mason I have. That's a pretty popular card. That's kind of funny. There's Goblin Marshal. I always liked him. He's a funny one. Mm-hmm. These are Goblin Cavaliers. I'm not as excited. Goblin War Buggy, a personal favorite.
Always a fan favorite.
Goblin Piker, been reproduced a number of times. Look at how many times this thing's been reproduced. Dink, 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 dink. These are all different decks that this card has appeared in.
Yeah, totally tragic that somebody swiped somebody's.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible. That's it for the goblins,
What do you guys think? Let's do a vote. So pick 3 cards, T, that could be option. I would say Goblin War Buggy, or the Piker.
Or the Spelunker? Or the Marshal? What do you think?
Yeah, Goblin Marshal.
Or the Mason. Let's do this. Oh, and Matron. That's another one. People like her, the mom with the baby.
Oh, you gotta show them Sophs.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I will show them Sophs. Let's add the Matron. She's kind of different.
War Buggy.
All right, so
everybody's saying War Buggy.
Everybody's just saying War Buggy? I was going to do that. I was going to say, here you go. It's the Piker, the Matron.
War Buggy, all caps.
War Buggy,
Kevin
War Buggy.
Sylvester.
All right, we're in. War Buggy. It's War Buggy. We're
1,
War Buggying
2,
out.
3, 4, 5.
In the meantime, can I just tell you, I drew this. Let me see if I can dig out the garbage versions of the Giant Growth Ange, because remember, I struggled with it. Let me see if I have it here.
It's almost like when Tony gets in this zone, he's like drawing when he is like a kid. Like he just sets up at the table. So he was all set up at the kitchen table. He had his markers out. He has binder of magic cards out. And he's just doodling away and getting totally into it. And we've been watching Survivor. That is what we've been up to. Besides cooking, eating. You're drawing.
Soph's been helping me.
And Soph's been helping.
I couldn't figure out how to do Giant Growth. I don't know where the mess ups are, but this is Giant Growth. The original card was a mouse and a dragon. Sophia did one for me. She did a Giant Growth. And I went, that's what I need to do. So look, I literally copied my kid. I just copied my kid. Hers is better. Anyway, thought you guys would appreciate that. I told Soph I'd give her a special shout out. Give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
All right, the Goblin War Buggy.
Yeah, because you drew a giant mouse in like a castle turret or something.
But you guys were like,
and we were like, what is that?
The Legos? What's it?
Yeah, we thought it was Lego.
All right. I'll be right there. I just gotta get the 2. I keep forgetting I have to have 2 versions of the card. I have to have one that I can kind of look at so I know what the heck I'm drawing. Mm-hmm. And then the one I'm going to do. These cards, by the way, will all be for sale. I forgot to mention that. We're going to sell them all. I'll figure out how and when. We're going to do it, but we'll do it like in the next week or so. We'll just put them all up for sale. That's what I'm doing it for. I know fans have wanted these for years. I don't ever want to let anybody down. I've just got the time. All right, there you go.
Oh my gosh, her old man Alzheimer was better than Tony.
It was. Whoever said that, you're right.
It was so good.
Yeah, you're
Kevin
right.
Sylvester.
Oh, I was going to say, or it's just Soph's watching and she
Soph's
said it.
doing great, guys. She starts virtual school, her online school on Tuesday. She's doing amazing in horseback riding. She just did so well at regionals, and now she's qualified for zones. And depending on how she does at zones, she could go to nationals, which would be crazy.
I'm just going to do a portrait of this guy. He's so tubby. I love him so much.
You're right, Linda. She's been rocking.
As my phone started lighting up and I glanced up. So last night, Ange, I haven't, truth be told, I haven't really been on top of my Magic cards that much, like looking at what I have, what I don't have. I have my own collection too. So we've sold out a lot of these proofs over the years at various conventions, and I try to keep a couple for myself. And I literally have like 2 of a lot of them. So last night I wanted to update my list on my site of all the cards I've done over the years, and realized I went on some Magic site that kind of, you can type in my name and it'll tell you every card I've done. And there were so many cards that had been reproduced that I did not even have copies of. I don't think Wizards always send you your cards. Anyways, I just bought a bunch of my own cards off of eBay. Which is kind of funny.
Oh,
but I just, yeah, that's my notice. It's like, your cards are estimated to ship. So I'm spending like $5 to get,
Is Soph
get
aiming
my
for
own
the
card.
Olympics 2024? To answer that, not 2024, but because she's only 13, but sometime past that, yes. She's like, I want to go to the Olympics.
All right, so there's a quick sketch of that guy. We'll see how we build it up and make it work. I love, he's got this gold and yellow all around him. So I'm going to kind of play on that. Just get in there with that.
Read your messages, please, Tony, about the proof group. Yep.
I wondered if there was a group on Facebook. I will. Thank you. There's.
Mark. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. I wondered if there was one. I'll post the PDF. I have a PDF file with everything I have, and we'll put them there. I'm not quite sure how we're going to sell them yet. I don't even, I don't normally do a store or anything like that, but we'll figure out how to do it so it's fair and everyone, whether you're a Magic collector or not, you can order or get one. But I think
because
this is
a lot of times we go to cons, people are like, will you do a sketch on the back of my card? And you just don't do them.
I just don't.
You just don't have the time.
I just don't have the time. I also...
Now you got the time because it was over a little
yeah, it's a little holiday. I was feeling it. I don't want any of my fans to ever feel like I neglect their aspect. And the Magic fans have been so loyal, and many of them have followed me for so many years. And so I want to be able to... I didn't grow up playing Magic, so I think often I have a super soft spot for the Dungeons & Dragons fans because I am a Dungeons & Dragons fan. But that doesn't mean,
You're just kind of clueless with it.
I am so clueless, guys, because we don't play.
We know so many artists who are like, this is how you do. It's a whole business for a lot of
guys,
people, but we're so focused usually on bookmaking
on books.
And now all the TV stuff that it's been,
not
something that's usually a priority.
And the other thing I can tell you, like, I'm so clueless. So my first Gen Con was 93, and they were handing out decks of Magic cards for free. I might have even told the story here before. And I brought them back to our D&D group to play. So I'm guessing those were probably not alpha deck, but maybe beta. So really early.
There was one I had that was called, like, Black Lotus or something.
Did you have that one? I collected all of Quentin Hoover's because I loved his art. I thought his stuff was terrific. And I ultimately gave them all to my brother, my younger brother Adam, and he has them all in storage somewhere. So one of these days we'll get down there and go raid a storage unit. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you can see I'm just using a nice brown here. It's not that different than if I was painting, I suppose. Here's the other.
Those chins. He's looking real.
He's looking like me. Yeah, he's looking like me right now. I got to be honest with you. If you're interested in using this marker technique and you're a fan of traditional and classic pinup art, so this may not be for the younger viewers, but Olivia Di Berardinis often uses markers in her work, which is, I've never seen that, how she uses markers. So she posts loads of process videos, and you can see all that. All right, so I'm going to get a little green going here for this guy. I'm going to do the light, because what I want this kind of light green to kind of get in there and mix with the brown. So we get a nice kind of olivey green for our goblin. So I'm kind of... So it's just giving me nice little smears.
Man, we have been deep. You guys know what a fan. I mean, if you've been listening, you've been hanging out with us in the past. You know what a fan of Elton that Tony is, and I am as well. And I'm sad because just post this time last year, or just earlier than this time last year, we went to the Elton John concert.
Oh, the farewell,
That's
the
like,
farewell
in
show.
addition to missing so much and not being able to do so much, I really miss going to concerts too.
Yeah. Well, we had done a couple concerts. We were talking about the other day what concerts had we done since then. We did Heart, because they were on our bucket list of bands we missed. So I remember doing Heart last year.
Yes.
But yeah, that's been. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to see concerts again.
It's Gaga, right? That's the one that I know is on top of Soph's list, is to go see.
Well, I think we also Shawn Mendes and
Taylor Swift,
and
you guys have seen
Harry Styles.
Oh yeah, we've been listening to a lot of that album. That's a great album.
Yeah.
He's really talented.
Emily C. Martin says, I love how Tony's leaving some white to make the dude look so shiny.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you know what, Emily? This is my brain finally kind of catching up with my hands, and now I'm actually painting now. Like, I'm painting with the markers.
Yeah, you're not...
I'm not just coloring. Yeah.
You would do the same exact thing with watercolor. Or gouache.
Yeah, pretty much. So again, these are the artist lots. These are a little cheaper than if you want to try a pack of them. I'll go through again which ones I bought.
No, Gage had tickets to see Gaga before COVID hit.
Oh, that's a bummer. You've seen her a couple times, right, Ange?
I've seen her a couple times, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've not, which I should have. I should have gone.
Oh, my gosh. I saw her on that second tour at Madison Square Garden on the floor. It was amazing.
Yeah, she does, whatchamacallit, doesn't she? What's it called where you let everybody in and they run to the stage?
General admission?
Ugh, I'm too old for that. That's why I'm like...
Just the front part is like her little monsters pit area.
Got it. I'd do U2 again. I know I've told you that. I love U2 and haven't seen them in a long time.
Jason, this method looks like a low pressure way to get introduced into painting. I'm intimidated by paint. Yeah, yes. I mean, it's basically a coloring book, but Tony's doing the drawing.
Yes, and in fact, I promised David Peterson, after I finish this guy, I will show you exactly that you are absolutely right.
No, that was Jason Lalona that said that.
No, because David Peterson asked about the Monster Manual pieces that I did, and if I had actually done them with permanent marker, or alcohol-based markers to, and I can say yes, and I will pull a Monster Manual drawing. I think there's a couple here. I think we're almost done with this guy, Ange. It's coming out pretty good. I think it's also knowing when to stop, which I didn't do on the Cavu. I kind of overworked it.
Man, Alice Cooper got canceled too.
Everybody.
Eric Burkert saw REO Speedwagon
nice.
Right before COVID hit.
Nice one. Yeah, that'd be... Their lead singer died, though, didn't he, I think? Well, I guess that's the case with a lot of these bands.
Yeah, they all have, like, new singers.
Yeah, who we saw Foreigners, doesn't have the original singer. Styx doesn't have Journey. But, you know, he was great. What's his name?
Did Tori Amos ever get the Black Swan painting?
No.
Nope.
No, she never did. No, it never happened. It was a
good
story.
Continued stalking her, but we quit.
We quit. We gave up. You know, I've only got so much gas in me, and then I'm done.
Ooh, I've watched Star Wars with a live orchestra. That was amazing.
That sounds cool.
That was very cool. When we were in New York a couple years ago, when it was the anniversary of Back to the Future, and we were driving down the street, going to our hotel, and we drove past Radio City Music Hall, and all of a sudden it was like Back to the Future live in concert tonight with, what's his name that was conducting?
I don't think it was John Williams,
It
but it was...
No.
I don't think it was John Williams.
Was it?
I don't think it was him, but I think it was... Well, maybe John Williams must have done that score, didn't he? Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
But it was same thing live, and they had some of the actors there. And I was like,
Yeah, Doc Brown or Christopher Lloyd was there.
yeah. It was cool.
Not Michael J. Fox, but a couple of the other actors were there.
Leah Thompson? Maybe?
I don't know if it was Leah or the guy that played Biff. Or I think the guy that was the principal or the dean. It's always like, slacker, you're a slacker.
Yeah.
That guy was there. All right, I think this one's done. I'm going to go in with a little inky. Little stinky inky.
Have we tried the new D&D cookbook? You're talking about the one...
Kyle Newman and company did.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have it. We haven't had a chance, though.
We haven't cooked anything from it. Could have made probably some giant turkey legs.
But Sophia ran a D&D game for us, which was a very proud father moment. That was pretty cool.
So Soph DM'd for the first time. And it was so awesome. She was such a great DM. It was a total proud parent moment.
Yeah, it was.
First of all, she was wearing like a cloak.
Yeah, she was.
She had full-on props that she had made.
I was getting Will the Wise vibes from her.
Yes, totally. She had scrolls and letters with wax seals that she made. She had rings. She had all kinds of little different things that we'd find. But the best was she had this...
we found a potion.
And we found a potion. She's like, and this is what you find. And she did voices and stuff. It was great. She hands it to Tony, and she's like...
And this thing is like a bottle, and it just looks like a bottle of ink. It's just black, swirly, iridescent. And she's like, I go, what's in it? She goes, I don't know. Open it up and drink it. And I go, okay, so, my character, I'll open it and drink it. She goes, no, Dad, open it up and drink it. I go, wait, like for real? So I literally, I pull the cork off and I do like the finger touch and I taste it, and it's just black ink. And I'm like, what? She goes, if you want to know what it does, you have to drink it. And everyone's just looking at me, and I go, you know what? My kid won't kill me. And I just quaff the thing. I just guzzle it. My teeth are black. I look like a pirate. It was sugar and...
In Pee-wee's Big Adventure, when Pee-wee gives, what's his name? His arch nemesis.
Oh, yeah.
Francis.
Francis.
He gives Francis the piece of gum and his teeth turn black.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, totally.
And it was food coloring, sugar, and some kind
It was so sweet, guys. I thought that's what made me almost gag.
And it had edible glitter in it. It was crazy.
It was,
by the way, it was worth it because it was +3 strength.
Oh, my gosh. And it was basically someone had to drink it.
You had to drink it to find out.
To experience it. I'm grabbing...
Totally worth it for +3 strength.
+3 strength.
What you looking for? Oh, one of your early D&D pieces?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have a lot. Here's a couple.
Oh, yeah, you got one there. 2 of them.
So Dave Peterson, I don't know if he's still here, but he asked, did I do the original Dungeons & Dragons monster manuals with these drawings? And so anyone who wants to play with these markers... Yes, done with alcohol-based markers back in March of 1993. This was done with markers. Very similar technique to what I did today, although paper is going to absorb the ink a little softer, so you can see I did slow buildups. I also put a little paint on top of them. This guy would have been inked first, so the Pilot Precise pen that I would have used would not bleed on this, so I could ink them first and then color them. There's also a little pastel pencil. Here's the dragon turtle. Let me take him out of his sleeve.
Dave Peterson, still here.
Go, good, Dave. So you get to see it because you had asked, and so here I'm showing. So here's the back of the dragon turtle, so you can kind of see how I did it. So yes, that was done. Hold on, I can probably...
Hannah Reslin said 1993 when I was born.
So that was done with a version of this, not necessarily this particular one, but a Pilot Precise. They were inked with, colored with barrel. They were still barrel markers. I think they still had barrel. Yeah, anyway, you guys get the idea. The alcohol-based...
Is that copy paper?
Colors? Yes, it is.
It is copy paper.
The thinner the paper, that's another thing. And then I still have the these pastels, pencils would have been rubbed on top of it. So things like this guy. These pastel pencils would have been rubbed on top and then smeared on top of the thing to further sharpen it or to soften it. We could reproduce one day. That'd be kind of fun to do.
Oh, that would be super
That'd be fun to do. Why such thin paper? 2 reasons. One, I was broke as a joke. I was actually living back at home at my mom and dad's, so I did these at our kitchen table in the house I grew up in, because I had no room anywhere else. 2, if you've ever done, traditionally in the 80s and the 90s, when you worked with these type of markers, these alcohol-based markers, it was for product design, and often you worked on marker paper. Now, marker paper is very thin paper.
Can you show it reproduced in the book, by the way?
Yeah, I can show what it looks like in the book. Marker paper is very thin. It's almost like a vellum. It's almost like a tracing paper. And so it soaks, these things just soak it. In fact, you can go in with a rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip and get on top of it and blend it even more. We didn't even use a blender today, but that's essentially what a blender is. It's just a pen full of rubbing alcohol. So this thing, you just put it on top of the marker work, and it's all going to bleed and blend. But I would use Q-tips and rubbing alcohol, so that paper can get really, really soaked. And when it dries, it's going to dry flat again. So the laser paper for me was kind of offered the same results. I could go in and really soak it crazy with marker and let the colors kind of bleed into each other. So a very thin but spongy surface gives you these soft blends, and here a very hard and coated slick surface is giving you these kind of puddly results. So you can see the difference, but it looks almost painted, which is kind of fun. So that kind of gives you a little bit of the behind the scenes on how I did these. And the reason these are a little faded, I'll be honest with you, but they're in pretty good shape.
What's that snapping turtle? What's the other one?
Dragon turtle.
Dragon turtle, thank you.
And the other guy would be probably under troll. He's a type of troll.
Turtle, page 88.
So for those playing along at home.
Booyah! Oh, now here's the thing. Look at the reproduction. Oh, sorry, not that guy. That guy. Look how dark that is in comparison. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, let's get the get a little bit of the original next to it, so you can kind of.
I'll take him out of his sleeve.
You can get a kind of a sense.
I mean, this guy looks green. You can see all the little mossy green on him, but the printed, it's so dark. You barely get any of that.
This was a big thing when we did the Realms book. We wanted that so you could really see the colors for what they really were.
How about that? That's crazy.
Yeah, you can see all that rich color in there. So there you go. Fun with markers. Ange, before we go, I think someone needs a goblin.
You give something away today?
I think someone needs a junk
Of
pod,
course
and
we need
it's
to
got to
give away
involve a
something.
goblin war buggy.
Emily Juster wants to know, when's the next episode of Drawn to Fantasy? Jeez, Emily, you're so demanding.
I don't know. What do you think, Emily? Let us know. You guys, let us know. Does weekends work better? We can keep doing weekends.
We can take a poll on the Drawn to Fantasy page.
We certainly
And
can.
we can ask if weekdays are better or if weekends are better. Maybe we'll find out.
We've got a fun junk pot today. Some goodies.
I'm gonna just take a moment to say, because I didn't actually know this. These cards with a sketch on them usually sell for like $200.
Yes, that's correct.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, $200.
Yes.
And guess what? We're gonna give one away today.
We're going to give one away today. Right now, Angela's going to pick someone special to get this. I will make sure it's signed before I send it off.
Don't smear it.
I will
Whatever
put
you
it in
do,
a sleeve.
or-
No, it's pretty. Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
Okay.
And so someone's going to get a Goblin
on,
War
put the
Buggy
music on.
card. Someone's going to get all these. Someone's going to
Pew,
get the floor display that never was.
What?
And because I'm feeling extra generous, someone's going to get this super rare foil. I'll sign all these.
Okay.
And we'll give it all away.
Oh gosh, that's okay. We're gonna give it all away.
We're giving it all away because we are very thankful. The floor.
By the way, Tom Hoffelder, thank
Display.
you for the sketchbooks that you sent. I wanted to make sure we could do a
Yes,
shout
Tom.
out. Yes, poll is a good idea. Glad to hear it. Awesome.
We'll do that. We'll figure out a day. But we definitely going into the fall. If you guys
Where's
are up,
your junk pot list? Do you still have the one?
God no, that thing's gone.
Guess what that means?
Start over.
Start over.
Brand new junk pot.
Pew pew pew.
Anyone can be a winner.
That's right.
All right, my
All
friends.
right, hold on. I've got the card winner specifically.
Okay, she's got somebody in mind.
Okay, so remind me, what are we giving away so I can...
Okay.
How many winners do we have?
We have one. It's just one winner.
One winner's getting all of this?
That's why it's called the junk pot and not the runner-up. So what do you get? You get this, of course. This is really the best thing, right? You get the sketch of the floor display that never was.
The turkey.
You get a turkey eating peacock. You get a turkey wondering what. Thank God he's not a peacock in the alternate world. And you get. Well, actually, I'll let you pick. You can email us and go. Do you want the goblin or do you want the cavu? Where's the cavu?
No, whoever it is gonna want the goblin.
They're gonna want the goblin. All right. The goblin. So you get the goblin and you get this. I'll sign them both, so they're signed. So yeah, a couple $100 probably worth of magic. I don't do these cards traditionally. So you ready?
I've got a winner. The winner today
Is
somebody who had a birthday 2 days ago.
Ooh.
Amelia Pendleton.
Amelia Pendleton.
Junk pot winner.
You are the junk pot winner. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations, Amelia. I'm sure you've sent us your address in the past, but please send it to me again on good old Facebook. And we will pack all this stuff up and send it to you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you for all your kind notes and your letters throughout the year. We've been thinking of you so much. And hey, we'll try to get that screen share thing figured out. So maybe we can do that.
Let's do a Q&A day where we can talk to you guys.
That would be super cool. All right, my friends. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. And we will see you soon. Undrawn to fantasy.
That's it. Drawn to fantasy. Gotta play it out.
Gotta play it out, Ange.
Never played. I miss this song. I miss these sweet Tom Hofelder tunes.
That Tom Hofelder cadence is good.
Man, I missed it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Good time.
I could eat some leftovers to this.
I could eat leftovers right now. I was eating leftovers while we were doing it. Just pounding apple pie and... Oh.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We really, really missed you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Take care.